Hi, in this video we will understand what is JWT authentication, which is nothing but JSON Web Token. So basically in this video we'll start with introduction to JWT and then we'll see the practical demonstration of how exactly the JWT authentication works. So let's start with introduction first. Let's say in the modern applications with APIs, sending username and password on every request is like insecure, also inefficient, right? And that's why we generally use this JWT authentication. So JWT securely stores the user's identity in a signed token, and in every API call that user makes, he generally sends this signed token as an input to the API call. So that server verifies before granting the access to those resources which we are trying to use or access. So the JWT quite secure, stateless and scalable as well. And which is why the JWT authentication is widely used across the APIs or the web applications in today's world. So in this demo, I'll show you how JWT works step by step. So for the practical demonstration, I've got very simple Python application which takes the user credentials as an input and generates the JWT token. And that token can be used in the further API calls to access the application. I have got this very simple application as I mentioned. So my Python application runs on Flask framework and I'm leveraging some of the libraries like JWT and datetime and some other libraries I'm using. So as you can see here I have hard coded my username and password. In general, like in the actual applications, these credentials get stored in the database, but as of now, since it is our testing application, I'm just keeping these credentials in the code itself. So my application takes this username and password and generate the token, and that token can be used in the further API call. So let's try to understand the code first and then we'll get into the actual demo by running this application. So my code has three functions. One is token required, which validates the generated token is valid or not, and the second one is login. This takes username and password as an input, and it validates whether username exists within the variable or not, and also matching the password or not. If it is matching, then it will return the JWT token. As you can see, I'm generating the signed token with the expiry of 5 minutes interval by leveraging this datetime library, and that's fine. But if username and password is not matching, then it will return this print message invalid username or password. And the other one, so this basically works on API call path slash login, and the method is post. And the other function I have is profile, and before that, like I have slash profile path on method get. So what it does, it takes the JW token as an input. So as you can see, token required is being called. So this token required, what it does, it takes the authorization token that we pass in the headers, and it will validate that. So if you are not passing the token, it will say token is missing, and say for example the token exists but it is invalid. So it will decode and verify the user's identity. If it is matching, well and good. If not, it will raise an exception saying if token is expired, then it will return this message, or if it is an invalid token, it will return this message. So that is how it works. Say for example, like everything is well and good, we are passing the valid token and it will return this is protected profile data, and it will return the username. um, so the one we use, so the username we are using is correct. So that is how my application works. Now let's start with running this application and make the API calls to see how JWT is working. Okay, let's run my application. Python sample app.py. Okay, my application is running now. I'll go to Postman and I'll make a API call on path slash login as I mentioned in the code. So this path is taking the two user inputs. One is username and the password in JSON format, and it will return the JWT token. So let me hit the request. So you see my token is generated. Now I can use this token in another API call on path slash profile. So I'll copy this API request simply, and the other one is get call. So let me let me add profile and add the JWT token as well. So I will copy it and I'll go to the barrel token, and this takes the user input and it will return the username as well as the print message, the one we added, like this is protected profile data and my username is Karam. So for example, let's try giving different token, the wrong token. So I have deleted two characters at the end and let me hit the button. Okay, so you see invalid token, so it's working fine. Now let's say for example you want to validate the user's identity. So for that we can validate from this website jwt.io. This is publicly available, so you simply paste your token here and you can validate the user's identity. As you can see, this is my username is Karam, and the algorithm, the one we used, and the expiry date, everything we can validate from this portal jwt.io. So that's how the JWT token works in the actual applications. That's all for this demo. Thanks for watching.